Hello there, darlings. Welcome to the Clockwork Cabaret. They are old, they are not hip. They are the weird answers that you didn't know you needed or wanted. And now, for a friendly reminder, this show is for adults. That darling DJ duo, Emmett Davenport and Lady Attercop, drink cocktails, have potty mouths, and at least one of them was raised by wolves.
And with the sound of the cuckoo, you know that it is time for the Clockwork Cabaret.
Hooray!
Hooray! I am Emmett Davenport.
And I am Lady Attercop.
And this week, I am paying tribute.
Playing tribute because it's songs.
Yeah. I am paying tribute to several of my author friends, specifically to the author friends who are trying to write novels and short stories in the coffee shop that I work at.
It happens more than you would think.
Yes. And so we're doing songs about words, and that words are hard.
As we all know. I am actually an expert at words. I have a degree in words.
Wordology.
This is a true fact. You thought I was just a run-of-the-mill bumbling fool. No, my friend.
You're a professional bumbling fool.
I'm a college-educated bumbling fool.
It's true.
I have a degree.
In bumbling fool.
Well, I have a degree in bumbling fool. My minor was in English with a concentration in poetry.
Oh.
As you can tell from how good I am at talking purdy.
Yes, I talk so purdy.
You can tell how good I am at the words because I say them the best.
Yes, yeah. This was actually brought on because an author friend who comes into the cafe. I don't know if I'm not going to call her out on it, but she was lamenting the fact that her normal table was taken earlier today, and she needed to write a sex scene, and her her computer screen was now facing
the filth was facing the populace at large.
Yes, and she felt very, very daunted by it, and very words are hard, and it was making her very uncomfortable about the whole thing.
Was Mr. Ducky involved with the sex scene? Was he making eye contact?
I mean, I'm sure he was. Well, at least one of his eyes was.
Well, only one can make eye contact at a time.
I'm teasing. I love Mr. Ducky.
Mr. Ducky has retinitis pigmentosa, yes. And one of his eyes sometimes goes a bit of wandering.
Yes.
It's fine. None of us are perfect creatures of God's grace.
No, especially when you've been messing around with the...
Well, look, I have a type.
Yes.
That type is...
Frankenstein's monster?
Yeah. I like a guy I can take in a fight and a lady I can't. I'm just going to say. And where does Mr. Ducky fall on that spectrum? Depends on what he's wearing that day. And whether or not he's armed.
Yes. Well, there you go.
We'll see. It evens things out when he's got a knife, Like every good relationship.
I just like a man who runs faster than me. That's all.
You just want to chase him?
No. I just want him to run. Away. Fast. Quickly.
Look at the cams on that one.
I just like to see him
retreating into the middle distance.
You know that how I love to walk him. I love to watch him leave. Kind of.
I hate it when you walk away, but I like to
watch him leave. Yeah. Except I just want to watch you leave. And possibly not come back.
There's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah. It is.
This is coming from the person who was like, give me somebody with a knife. Like,
Yeah.
I was doing finger guns, on listeners.
Yes,
You couldn't
yeah,
see that,
yeah.
but I hoped you felt. I only
Oh
ask.
no, well no, honestly, I love Rupert, and I'm very happy with him. But when if and when our relationship ever ends, I'm not looking for anything else. I don't want. I'll just have cats. It's
Could you
fine.
imagine trying to date?
I do.
Good
No.
God.
No. I could barely date the first time
No,
around.
I was bad at it the first time.
I'm more self-aware and more self-conscious now. I don't know. No, no
Bumbled
thanks.
into
Also,
some person with poor eyesight and a love of nerd shit.
Yeah.
I was like, bingo.
yeah, I found
There's
someone
my
who is
niche.
just as socially awkward and incapable of flirting as I am. Yeah, no. If this goes awry, I'm done.
Mr. God bless his soul. Mr. Ducky tried to flirt with me before we actually, started dating. He tried real hard. Kept saying like flirty
nice,
banter,
flirty things.
and I would just shoot it down with like thanks. I could just continue on with my day because I'm real good at picking up on subtle cues.
Yeah.
So the worst would be like, you look really nice in an outfit today. Thanks. Stroll.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then when we finally did hook up, I did pull him aside and said, you don't have to do this because you feel sorry for me, right? I'm perfectly fine being alone. It's like, this is the worst flirting I've ever had.
Well, to be fair, that is also very, very, very similar to what happened with me and Rupert in that he very, very vocally expressed his interest, and I went,
are you sure though?
Thanks. I'm gonna go now because I don't know how to parse this. I'm gonna go.
At least you understood that he was flirting with you. You didn't
Well,
go,
also he was drunk, and so I
Okay.
didn't want it to be one of those like you're gonna regret this later, and
Yeah,
you're gonna wake
yeah,
up
well-
you're gonna wake up sober, and then you're gonna have to and then I have to decide whether or not I want to make you breakfast, and you're trying to sneak out of the house.
That's a good rule of thumb. Don't
Yeah.
go home with somebody who's so drunk that you don't know
Yeah.
if they really want to
Well,
do that thing or
yeah,
not.
yeah.
That's a good rule of thumb.
Yeah. So there was that. Though I did go home and then call him back and say, if this is serious, if you were actually serious, I might be interested. And then he didn't call me back, and 3 weeks went by, and then I had to actually hang out with him at other things, and it didn't come
Awkward.
up, and it was awkward and weird. But then it turned out that his roommates never gave him the message that I had called. Because his roommates were jerks.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would be a jerk thing to do.
Yeah, so it was a whole thing.
Well,
College age, we're in you're in our late 20s, mid 20s. No, early 20s.
I was in my early 20s.
Yes.
I was like, younger
Cradle
man.
robbing. Well, I mean,
Not
technically.
technically.
No, technically Rupert was 2 years younger than me. It's not that.
Mr. Ducky is 3 years younger than
Yeah,
me.
it's not that.
And the great part was, not to tell tales out of school, but he was just getting out of like a weird religious cult. So when he was all like, guess what, lads, my girlfriend is 21. Neither of us drank, but
Right.
my girlfriend is 21.
Yo, making it seem real
Yeah,
cool.
like, look at me, reeling in the college women. And then they would meet me and be like, I thought you said that your girlfriend was 21. Who is this child? And I'm like, I'm 21. Here's my license.
I am 21.
I could buy a booze.
If I knew what kind of booze to buy.
I have tried them. I do not like them. It was when I was young and innocent, listeners. There was a time for my 21st birthday, my mother and my aunt took me to a bar. Because it's my 21st birthday. I was home from school. All my friends were in other states. So they took me to a bar. And then I ended up being the designated driver. Because that's how I roll.
Well,
very cool.
On my 21st birthday, I was homesick with the flu.
So.
And I did not do anything. But then the weekend when I got better, my friends took me out.
So you had some debauchery.
I did, except that my debauchery consisted of a whole bunch of apple cider, of hard apple cider, and let me just say, listeners,
don't do that.
Don't ever do that.
Children, don't do that.
No. If you do not drink at all, just leave it that way. It's better for you.
Yeah.
Also, do not drink multiple drinks of sweet, sugary nightmare drinks because
it's going to end poorly.
The hangover the next day is mostly sugar related.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, there is alcohol to it, but it's
when
mostly...
you wake up the next day still drunk. That's
yes.
not all sugar.
Yeah.
But
I did not. No, and then I had to have...
Ask me about mint juleps sometime.
No, I had to have breakfast, lunch with my aunt, and I was very hungover and had to walk to the restaurant in broad daylight with so many glasses and hats on because it was so bright out.
This is all just to say we are walking disasters and
yes.
have been our entire lives.
Whole lives.
So neither of us could ever date again because
no,
it's a miracle we survived it the first time.
It's a miracle we figured it out.
I didn't. I legitimately pulled him aside and was like, listen, the makeouts were great. That was sweet. You know I've had a crush on you for forever, so I appreciate the effort that you put in. But let's be honest here. I know what I'm selling, and I don't think that you're necessarily interested in buying. So if this is just some kind of ego-boosting thing that you've concocted to make me feel good about myself going off into the world as a young adult, I appreciate it. But let's not make this more than what it is. And he was like, how are you this stupid?
And then 22 years later...
How are you this smart but this stupid?
Yes.
And 22 years later, we both found out we're neurodivergent and went, oh, that explains some shit. Yeah. Not picking up on the clues. The weird emotional detachment. Yeah.
So all we're saying, listeners, is that, there might be someone out there for you. Mm. You just weren't paying attention.
I guess.
Or that,
Or as someday that you own your own cafe and there's an author in there writing a steamy sex scene. It might be about somebody you know, and that's going to make it awkward.
Yeah. Also, you could then offer to give them a reserve sign so they get the table that they want for the next time.
And then, could you make it reserved for sexy times?
I
Put
might.
that on the sign. And then...
Oh, I did not mention that to them, but I might have to.
And our longtime listeners know who this is.
Probably.
They know what author based a character on Mr. Ducky.
And myself.
And you. And then they make out in the next book.
They don't.
They do not. That would
also,
be really
that
weird.
would be real weird. Because
you're like, what?
Mr. Ducky is practically my little brother, and I... Ugh.
You guys have adopted each other. I'm so sorry. I knew that would gross you out. And I did it anyway. And this is why I didn't have boyfriends before Well, no, I have the one girlfriend. But this is why I didn't have a lot of boyfriends and girlfriends before now.
And on that note, I'm going to press a button and wash my mouth out.
This is Mad Wasp Radio, home of the hits.
I don't have any last words.
You don't have any last words for this podcast?
I don't have anything. I know nothing. We found our puppets.
We did find our puppets.
While we were doing the music and stuff. For any of our listeners that aren't aware, at a brief period of time in the past, we had puppets made. In the before times, we had puppets made, and we did a horrible drinking show.
Lushington's Lunch.
Which I think we talked about last week.
Yes, we did mention last week.
But I actually found the puppets there. They were in a box here in the studio. I had put them here.
They're looking a little, like they have also been through the quarantine.
Yes.
A little lot more lopsided than they were before, a little puffier than they might have been before. But honestly, man, if you made it to the other side, who cares what you
Yeah.
look like getting there?
Yeah. So
We're all a little bit more gray, a little bit puffier, and just a little bit more ratchet than we were before, the whole
before
global
times.
pandemic thing happened.
What I like to refer to as the before times.
The before times.
That's
The
how-
before times.
It is the before times. We're
That's...
all gonna do a Rocco's Modern Life voice now.
No. That's the kids from Beyond Thunderdome.
Oh.
That's the Mrs. Walker.
Mrs. Walker, Captain Walker.
Captain Walker. The little children.
It is true. But that's what I like to do with my Rocco Modern Life
That
voice.
is also
That's
the
how
Rocco's Modern
That's
Life.
how I practice that.
That is the Rocco's Modern Life accent, which is where how I do all of my accents is based on cartoon characters. Hello, I'm from Australia.
Is
I
that
don't
how you
know why I sound like I've huffed helium before I've come here to talk to you lovely people. It's been a long time since I've done a bad accent on the show. Here we are.
Has it been a long time? It has not. It was
Aye.
last week.
Did I do a bad accent?
You
last
always
week?
do a bad accent.
Was it Irish? I usually fall back on my bad Irish
It was
accent.
either Irish or Scottish.
Scottish is Glomhard Glom
Glomgold.
Flintard Glomgold is my Scottish
Yes.
accent. I love sharks and plans and hate Scrooge McDuck. That's that accent.
Oh, yeah.
And then Irish is my great grandparents who would have never approved of me.
Oh, no. Of
I
course
don't
not.
know why you're doing this thing on the radio, and I can't understand what it is, and I don't care to understand what it is. I just know that you've been a great disappointment to me and your great grandmother, and we are rolling in our graves right now, and have disowned you.
Ooh.
And
Ooh.
yeah, can you feel the shame?
I
can you
can.
feel the
I
shame
can.
from the old country?
I can
Yeah.
feel the shame
It's very
from
monotone.
way over here. Also,
We're from Ulster.
Well, also, it's the only time I've ever seen you make the smallest mouth
Well,
face.
you have to
Like,
make
you
have to
the-
make a small mouth.
You make the smallest mouth.
When you're doing the Irish accent, you have to make
Yes.
the small mouth to truly express how disappointed your ancestors are in what you've become. Look at that hair colour. That's not yours. Is it? You had beautiful red
It
hair.
is. You
the
paid
hair
for it.
colour of your paper.
It's-
And now this is what this
You- it
candy
is-
coloured misappropriation.
It is your hair color because you
shame.
paid for it.
I did pay for it.
It's,
Yeah. No, you have to do the tiny mouth.
yeah,
'cause the
it's
tiny mouth
See, I have a problem. Yeah, tiny mouth.
denotes that they are disappointed in you.
Very disappointed.
Yeah, just I can't even open my mouth all the way because I'm so disappointed. Can't even form a consonants properly because I'm so disappointed. Ask me how to say the number 3.
How do you say the number 3?
3. So disappointed. Apologies to our Irish listeners if you're from Ulster. You know that you're disappointed and you also are judging my hair color. So honestly, I just gave you a voice on this, our radio show.
Full of opinions.
Full of opinions. I can also do bad French, bad. It was bad German I did last
Oh,
week.
was it?
It was
that
Frau Brucker.
Oh, yes. I don't know. You do so many bad accents.
And all of my accents are bad.
Yes.
That's what unites them all.
Yes.
It is a cartoonish inability to learn any subtlety.
All right. Well, so if Glomgold
Is my Scottish
is your
ancestors.
Scottish,
Yes.
and your ancestors are your Irish.
That-
Where
they're
do you
both,
get
yeah.
the French? Where do you get the French?
I'm French. I'm not
No.
actually French.
No, but I mean, like, where?
Belgian.
Who do you call forth to?
What? Like, who am I
What?
embodying?
Yes. Who are you embodying when you call forth your French
The
accent?
one, the only Christopher Lambert, the
Oh.
original Highlander, so that you know this accent's right out of it. And first of all, I want to establish my ancestors aren't the French-speaking Belgians.
Right. Oh, no.
They're the Dutch, but I can't do Dutch. So we're gonna be French. Oh, maybe I'm a little bit, and a little, just a sprinkling of Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah.
Because of girls, when you want to be French, you have to go through the nose, and you have to seduce everyone you speak to with your voice.
Oh, that's very.
It's very
I
Pepe
feel.
Le Pew.
I feel very Pepe Le Pew.
Yes,
Pew,
so the
yeah.
little
Yeah.
and a bit of Christopher Lambert. Is
Oh
a
no,
bit of
Chris,
a sprinkling?
Christopher Lambert is very quiet. He
He's
whispers.
no, when I'm
He
speaking-
whispers.
Yeah, no, you'll notice I'm not screaming.
All I remember from Christopher Lambert is when he was in Greystoke, and he was being taught by Ian Holm about how to say mirror and razor,
Oh dear.
and he would go mirror, razor,
Razor.
and he would be very quiet about it.
Mirror. Razor.
Also, if you want to watch a Tarzan movie with Christopher Lambert without a shirt on,
Do
and
I?
I don't know. It was good for the late 70s, early 80s. I feel like it was enjoyable. Also, it has Andie MacDowell, but she's voiced by Glenn Close, so it's very strange because her American accent was offensive to whoever was directing it. And they were like, no, we can't have this voice.
This American voice is bad. Let's get Glenn Close.
Yes.
A different
I think she
American
had a little
voice.
bit of a twang.
Well, yeah, she's got a southern.
Like,
I think she has a southern
I
accent.
think she's from like Arkansas or something like that. But yeah, she had a little bit of a too much twang as far as they were concerned.
American twang.
So they had Glenn Close,
I mean, like,
which is just weird because
Yeah.
Glenn Close is American.
yeah, also American. Also, like Christopher Lambert was a weird choice for the Highlander. Hello,
Yes.
there can be only one, and now you and I we will fight.
Yes.
In this.
My name is Duncan MacLeod.
My name is Duncan MacLeod.
Or no, was he Connor MacLeod?
Connor MacLeod.
I don't remember.
I am some
There's
sort of
the
very.
MacLeod.
I'm some sort of very Scottish MacLeod.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
but then also they had Sean Connery being the Spaniard.
Yeah, he was the Spaniard who was originally from Egypt.
Right.
Very accurate.
Yes. Also,
And I say, je ne sais pas, we will fight in this an underground parking lot. And one of us
also
will
I
be
have a
beheaded.
katana as a
And
sword.
I have a katana instead of a Highland sword,
Yeah.
which is the namesake of this movie. But who gives a crap? Who gives a merde?
Also, if you
Alors, smoking, and he's not smoking in the movie, but
no,
he's
he
smoking
doesn't
in
smoke.
my mind.
He doesn't smoke at all through the movie, which
In
is
my mind,
which
he's
seems
smoking,
shocking.
yes.
I feel like he should have
Puffing
been.
on a cigarette, like one of us will die tonight. I don't care if it's me. It could be you. Who cares? Let us do this machismo dance of bullshit,
I think.
and then they fight.
Oh, see, I think.
Let me rewrite that.
Yeah, I feel like that might be a better Highlander.
Hey, who owns the
feel-
rights to the Highlander? Hey, Highlander folks.
I don't know. Russell Mulcahy.
Let's
The director, I guess, maybe.
let me rewrite the Highlander.
What's weird is that in the TV series, the Highlander lived on a boat in France.
And he was American and also could not do
Oh,
the accent.
well, the actor was Canadian, I believe.
French. He was like, "Hey yo, I'm
And he did-
French.
well-
My name is Connor
well,
MacLeod."
No, he played Duncan MacLeod.
He was Duncan MacLeod.
He was Connor MacLeod's descendant somehow.
And you know what the fun part is? That's not how you pronounce that name in Scottish. It's
What?
not MacLeod. It's MacLeod.
I don't know anything about
It's not
anything.
even how it's pronounced.
Yes,
They couldn't
no,
even
no.
get that right. Oh,
That's because it was a.
it was a bad. Don't.
was a-
well, the
yeah.
first one was fun. The second one was garbage.
Yeah, don't watch. Well, the director's cut was a little bit better, but
No.
not by much.
The
Because then they
premise
made
was
them all
garbage.
aliens.
They were aliens, and when they got beheaded, they went back to their home planet because
Yeah.
that's how beheadings work.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah. I just remembered that.
I think they retconned all that. in
Well,
the
yeah.
third
Well,
one and in the TV show.
Well, in the third or fourth one, there was Mario. Yeah, Mario Van Peebles was the wizard that came out of a cave.
Wait.
Yeah, there was a cave, and then he teleported across the entire globe, and that was about when I stopped.
I
like-
lost. I lost the Highlander. Clearly, I lost the Highlander thread.
You missed it. I don't know. Remember if it was the third or the fourth one, but there's a whole thing where Mario Van Peebles is a sorcerer that has been imprisoned in a cave.
Yes.
But then
By the very French Duncan.
right by the Highlander.
Le
Le
Highlander.
Highlander. I don't know how to say it in French, but yes. And then he gets out of the cave and then immediately teleports across the whole fucking planet.
Well, that's why they had to put him in the cave.
Yes, but it was one of those, like, how did he not escape at any point in time? Like, do not...
He was in the cave before
I
Emmett.
guess, apparently, the
He
cave
was
just
trapped
blocked.
in the cave. If you know anything about wizards, you know if you trap him in a cave, you got him good.
Apparently.
They cannot get out of that
apparently
cave.
they don't know how to echolocate.
No.
And
The cave is the wizard's
I don't know. It was
mortal enemy.
That's why every time you just stick a wizard in a cave.
Yep. Ask Taliesin.
Yeah.
Yep. Ask your favorite
local Merlin.
Yeah, ask your local Merlin about a cave. They'll be like, "Oh, cave."
Well, I mean, he got locked in a tree.
He also got locked in a cave. Depends on which of the stories. Yeah, because sometimes he's in the caves of Wales.
Yeah. So caves and wizards, man.
Do not mix.
No.
If you have a wizard in your life, do not take them to a cave.
Also, apparently, it takes 1,000 years to charge up your teleport.
Yes.
So there you go. But Mario Van Peebles, he teleports across the.
And then he beheads every Highlander.
I don't know because I stopped as soon as he teleported teleported across the planet. I went, yeah, no, I can't watch this.
Well, and did the guy with the curly mullet and his motorcycle draw you back in? Because there was a Highlander TV show, Young People. There was
I watched that
with a curly mullet and a motorcycle and a katana.
You mean Adrian Paul?
Yes, I didn't know his name.
I watched that. Yeah, well, I watched that mostly because a whole bunch of 80s music people showed up on that show, and I would watch that because that's where I saw Roland Gift and Pat Benatar.
Any 80s musician who fancied themselves an actor.
Roger Daltrey was on there, and
not Adam Ant.
Adam Ant was actually on there.
He held out for Northern Exposure.
Yeah, no, Adam Ant was also on.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
It seems like Adam Ant's jam.
Yeah, no, he was
like,
on there.
I'm here in leather. Who wants to chop my head off?
Yeah, no, he was on there. I'm fairly certain. If not, I'm shocked because I feel like he did a circuit of 80s TV shows at some point.
We just put him in there in our heads, regardless of whether or not.
Rick Springfield was in a vampire TV show, so yeah, why not?
He was.
Yes, Forever Night. It was the original.
And Sting was in a vampire movie.
Yes. Wait.
No.
Was he?
David Bowie was in a vampire movie.
Yes.
Sting was in a sci-fi movie.
Sting was in a Frankenstein movie.
Sting was in a Frankenstein movie.
And in Dune.
He was also in Dune.
Yes. And the 80s just decided they wanted musicians in movies.
And David Bowie was in The Hunger, which I think we talked about last week.
Yeah. Which is...
Bringing it back around.
Yeah, to something.
We're here to be your ancient media aunties. We're just tell you about all the crap garbage.
So you don't have to.
we watched.
Whew, there's so much that you don't have to watch because we already did it.
It was a different time. On demand was not a thing. You just had to watch whatever garbage was put on the screen in front of you at whatever time you happened to sit down in front of it. That's how you got TV shows like The Highlander.
Yeah. Also,
Northern Exposure.
I don't want to be mean to musicians. I like musicians.
Yeah.
But sometimes they should not be on TV.
No.
Or in movies.
No, they're good musicians. They're not good actors. David Bowie wasn't bad.
No.
Sting wasn't bad. He was okay.
But
all we had to do was
the
prance around in fancy underpants.
The 80s brought a lot of musicians in movies, though. All of them.
Tina Turner was really good in Beyond Thunderdome.
Yeah, but Auntie Entity wasn't really It's not a difficult character.
It was just Tina. It was just badass Tina. It was just post-apocalyptic Tina Turner.
I feel like they just said we're gonna put you in this metal dress and you just have to be you, really. And she went,
we're gonna put you in a 150-pound metal dress, and you need to shave your head for this wig, which she did.
Yeah.
And wear heels in the desert and yell at Mel Gibson, and she was like, "I can do that.
I can do that,"
and she did it.
And it was amazing.
It was amazing.
But, there were a lot of, Madonna movies.
There were a lot of Madonna
terrible.
movies.
There was a Cyndi Lauper movie. That Vibes movie. Oh, I mean, it was... I have watched it recently, and it was entertaining, but...
It's not good.
It's not a good movie. It was terrible.
Oh, and she also got involved in wrestling. Remember that?
Well, yeah. Well, that
Cyndi
was
Lauper
was
involved in
beforehand.
wrestling. Cyndi Lauper used to wrestle.
Yeah.
It's a true fact. Look it up.
It's true. Lou Albano was her manager.
Her manager.
It was beautiful.
When
That's why he was in her video.
When he wasn't appearing on the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Oh my God.
He was filling in as Cyndi Lauper's manager because she did a for-real wrestling stint for Glow. The gorgeous ladies of wrestling. It was a real thing before the Netflix show.
It was. It wasn't a TV show. It wasn't just. It was for the realsies. It was.
No wonder we're so screwed up. Look at our fucking media.
Our whole generation. Our whole generation is just messed up. This is all we had. We had cartoons that were just giant advertisements for toys. We had musicians being in TV shows and movies
and wrestling.
We had movies where actors were from other countries pretending to be from other countries and their accents were inexplicable.
We had Hulk Hogan starring
Robin Hood,
movies.
Prince of Thieves, where Kevin Costner's supposed to be British and just never even bothers to try to sound like he's British.
But neither does.
No one else does.
No,
either.
I was gonna say
no one else does.
That's not fair to.
Oh no, I'm just not a fan of Kevin.
Him.
I'm just not a fan of Kevin Costner.
Yeah, no. I was gonna say
also,
because you had like the.
Also, my favorite line in the movie is essentially Christian Slater saying "fuck me," he cleared it
in a Jersey accent.
Yes,
not an old Jersey accent, a New Jersey accent.
Yes.
He's like, "Hey, yo, Robin Hood."
Yes,
he's 5 seconds away from being a bad stereotype.
Yes, yeah. Well,
he's got slicked back hair, and he's like, "Hey, where's the beach? Where's Robin Hood?"
That's because he's trying to be Jack Nicholson.
I don't know what he was trying.
I don't know. But it was very
Look,
strange.
the 80s were full of cocaine, is all we're saying.
Not us, because we were children.
We were children. And we stayed away from the cocaine. And it didn't help our social lives any, as we've discussed earlier. But if you like us, despite our disastrous early social lives, you can help tell us. Give us a 5-star review on Apple iTunes. Follow us on social media. You can find all the deets on agonyauntstudios.com. You can help support us either on Ko-fi or Patreon there. Donate to us on PayPal. Or just tell us you like us. Because we're needy.
We're so needy.
And we need validation.
We do. And this has been the Clockwork Cabaret. She is Lady Attercop.
And they are Emmett Davenport.
And it's not work we do. It's love.
And we've just had a message in from General Henderson. It seems to be for people who do not listen to Mad Wasp Radio.
You're nothing but a bunch of spineless, gutless sheep. The lot of you. Nah.
Well, he seems to be of sound mind, but can we get a scientific opinion on that?
Certain sections of the brain seem to be missing.
That's unfortunate, but I don't suppose it can be helped.